Can you start a 3D printing business with just $500 and be profitable? Today, we're going to talk about your printer options, some filament choices, mistakes I've made. I'll show you our setup, and we'll walk through how you can use that $500 to get your business started today. Hit that like button and stick around. Rather than taking the traditional route and telling you what printer you should buy and what filament you should purchase first, we're going to start off with the mistakes that you should avoid when starting your 3D printing business. Number one for me is printing everything for everyone and hoping that something is going to just hit. I'll talk about it in a future video, but I have actually started a home bakery and I have a very specific niche for that bakery. And that niche happens to transfer and be the same as it is in my 3D printing business. When I think about the things that we want to print, the Patreons that we're going to subscribe to, I think about what is going to fit with my audience so that I know we have a better chance of it selling. Because right now we are more locally focused in our sales. We predominantly do markets and everything goes through our Instagram account. We haven't yet moved to online, although we hope to transfer and do that in the fall as well. First, think of a niche or a group of people that you would rather sell to. For me, my client base in the bakery is typically 25 to 45-year-old women who are mothers of multiple children, and they're typically wanting to purchase something for their child's birthday party. I also work with people who are getting married and therefore are throwing weddings, wedding showers, and baby showers, and all that kind of stuff. But I am gearing everything towards that group of people. And now I do the same thing here in the 3D printing business, where I know that I am trying to gear towards those same women, those same moms purchasing items for their children. Also, along that lines, they really like to go with customization. In the bakery, I deal with a lot of customization, and we have built a lot of customization into our 3D printing business. And I think that this is a really great way for people to get started, and it's not all that hard. In an upcoming video, I will show you how we do our custom name signs and keychains and talk about all the different ideas that we have that we would like to move forward with. The second mistake that people make, and it's also very similar in the bakery world, is racing to the bottom with your prices. We definitely don't want to do that, because if we aren't pricing our items properly and ensuring that we are not only covering our costs, our time, the machine wear and tear, and adding in a profit, then we're not building a business. We just have a very expensive hobby. And if that's what you want, then that's totally okay. But I'm here to talk to you about how do we build a business that's going to be long lasting and profitable to ensure that we can keep it going. Another mistake that you want to avoid is choosing speed over quality. If you choose to speed your products up and have larger layer lines in order to be able to print more quicker, you're also diminishing the quality of your prints, and therefore you're going to have a harder time selling those prints if you are competing with others, because the quality just won't be there. And with this, don't skip the post-processing either. If you have stringy bits on your prints, if you have parts that need to be taken off, if you have supports that maybe haven't fully come apart, you want to make sure that you clean those up entirely, because part of what is going to make you stand out in this market is going to be how your prints end up looking. The last two mistakes I want to talk to you about are, first, not tracking your orders and your profit, and second, not taking customer feedback. Customer feedback has been one of the biggest ways that I was able to grow my bakery, and now I take that into this business as well. How I do that is sometimes I will actually provide free prints for people to get them to let me know what they think. And I also want to hear after they've made a purchase and know how it went. Now, let's get to the setup of our space. As you can see, it is not big. So you do not need a giant space in your house to get started. Little known fact, this space started out for me as a scrapbooking room, then became the first room that I used to bake out of, moved on to be my children's toy room, which half of it still is, and now it also contains our 3D printing business. Our current business setup consists of 3 printers. We have 2 Bamboo A1s with the AMS units, and we have an A1 Mini. If you are looking to start a business with a budget of $500, for me, I would go with the A1 Mini without an AMS unit to start. The great thing about choosing to go with a bamboo printer is that they seem to almost always be running sales on their websites, at least as far as the A1 and the A1 Mini goes. If you're at the point of purchasing and there isn't a sale, you could put it off for a couple weeks and likely there will be one. You can see here where the starting prices are for the A1 Mini, and then I show the combo price as well. I do live in Canada, so you are seeing these prices in Canadian dollars. This machine does have a small build plate, but it can still do a lot. It's quite the workhorse for us, and anytime I need to do a singular color print, this is the machine that I do it on. The rest of our layout, as you can see here, is that we have put some racks up on the wall to be able to hold our filament because it can be very overwhelming in the beginning with all of your choices. But again, if you are starting with $500, you are not going to start with this many colors of filament. In a later video, I'll talk about how we've swapped out our build plates to ones that are more reliable. But in the beginning, when you start, the textured PEI plate that comes with the machines will be just fine. Once you have picked who your ideal audience will be and a few options of items that you want to print, then you're going to order 3 or 4 different filament colors to help get your business started. You might go with something that's more of a solid color, or perhaps you want to pick 1 or 2 of the gradient colors to help give you a little bit of a pop to some of your prints. One of the first filament brands that I started using, and I still use a lot of, is Elegoo. I found that they're super reliable. They have a huge assortment of colors. They're easy to get in a short time frame through Amazon, and their pricing is always pretty good. The other brand that I really rely on too for all my filaments is Bamboo. I actually probably started getting more Bamboo than I do Elegoo now. They have such an assortment when it comes to PLAs, especially translucent silks. They're regular, but I use a lot of their matte PLAs. Just keep in mind that when you go online to buy some of their filaments, that they will have 2 different prices. One is going to be whether you're purchasing a refill, or the other will be if you're getting your filament on a spool. When it comes to multicolored filaments, my favorite brand is this Zero or Zyro, however you say it. They are more expensive than some others, especially here for me in Canada, but I don't think that anybody beats them in terms of the appearance, how easy they are to use. You can see here in these dragons, the main bodies were printed with Zyro, and I just love the way that they look. If you have any other recommendations, I would love to hear about them in the comments below. What do you think is the best starter printer? And who do you think makes the best filament brands? Thank you so much for sticking around on our new channel. I really hope that you've learned something from this video and that you can walk away with at least one takeaway from it. If so, I would love to know what that takeaway is in the comments below. Please give us a like and subscribe, as the next video I'm going to be talking to you about our markets. We have one coming up in a couple days, and I'm going to discuss how we sell at the markets, show you our setup, go through all of the different things, and we'll talk about how successful or not successful that market was after the fact. So hit the subscribe button and stick around for that.